What does the SCULK Shrieker do in Minecraft? This video will explain what the SCULK Shrieker is, how to get it, and how the SCULK Shrieker works. What is the SCULK Shrieker? The SCULK Shrieker is a new block that will be added in the Minecraft 1.19 update, the Wild update. The SCULK Shrieker is used to summon the warden. The SCULK Shrieker can be mined with any tool, but the quickest tool is the hoe. If you break it, it will drop some experience. For the SCULK Shrieker to drop as a block, you will have to use a tool enchanted with Silk Touch, as Silk Touch drops the block instead of breaking it. Where to find the SCULK Shrieker? The only location to find the SCULK Shrieker is in the Deep Dark biome or the Ancient City, which is found in the Deep Dark biome. The Deep Dark biome is deep underground near bedrock around -52 Y layer. Probably the best way to find it would be exploring the caves like the large cheese caves and going deeper underground. The Deep Dark biome should be easy to spot as the Deep Dark has unique blocks like SCULK blocks, SCULK catalyst, SCULK veins, SCULK shrieker, and the SCULK sensor. Most of these have a similar texture, black and blinking light blue spots on it. The SCULK catalyst has a 1% chance of generating a SCULK shrieker on top of a SCULK block. SCULK catalyst can generate other SCULK blocks when a mob that drops experience dies within range of a catalyst. For this to happen, there has to already be a SCULK block and the mob needs to die on it. How does the SCULK Shrieker work? When the SCULK Shrieker is activated, this will increase the warning level to alert the warden, meaning eventually spawn one. The warning level is specific to each player. You can activate different SCULK Shriekers and this will increase your warning level. When the Shrieker is activated, it will shriek for 4.5 seconds. There is a 10-second cooldown where you can't trigger another Shrieker during this time. This will last 5.5 seconds after the shriek from the Shrieker. After the shriek ends, all players in survival within 40 blocks are given a darkness effect for 12 seconds. The darkness effect will make the player's vision dim. You can decrease the warning level by 1 every 10 minutes. If you have a 3 warning level, it will take 30 minutes to get down to 0. How the Shrieker is activated is if you step on the Shrieker, or the other way is if you make a vibration close to the SCULK sensor. This will send a signal to the Shrieker. You can also activate the Shrieker by powering it with a redstone signal. Vibrations are made by pretty much any action in the game, like walking, flying with elytra, placing blocks, and mining blocks. The best way to avoid making vibrations is by sneaking or holding the left shift button. This will make no vibrations and not activate the SCULK sensor. Also, the wool block can be used to block vibrations, or if you walk on wool blocks, this won't make a vibration. If the player does activate the Shrieker and is outside the range, the darkness effect won't be applied and it does not spawn a warden, but it will still increase the warning level. When the warning level reaches 4, the Shrieker will spawn a warden when the shriek ends or immediately if the Shrieker is broken by the player. The warden will spawn with an 11 by 13 by 11 area around the Shrieker and the warden will emerge from the ground. There has to be no warden within 48 blocks. Also, the light level has to be below 11. The warden is probably the most dangerous mob in the game. It has a health of 500, has a ranged and melee attack. The warden is blind and uses sound and smell to find its targets. You can avoid the warden by sneaking. This won't give a vibration. The best idea might be to not spawn a warden, or if you do spawn them, don't increase their anger, which happens when you make vibrations, and wait until they despawn. This is definitely a mob you don't want to face in a one-on-one fight. The ranged attack can also pass through other blocks. One last thing to note about the Shrieker is that it cannot spawn a warden if the Shrieker was generated by a SCULK catalyst or the player placed the Shrieker.